It's Jules and Jo from True Crime and Headlines, and we wanted to provide one spot for you to catch up on ongoing cases that are trending in the media and also cases that we believe need more information. If you have any cases that you would like us to share or cover, please email us at truecrimeandheadlinespodcast@gmail.com. These mini episodes are here for one purpose: to bring awareness. We won't be covering the cases in depth during mini episodes, but we will have links to other podcasts when appropriate, news articles, and videos where you can go in depth with the cases. All right, Jo, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to quick update one case from each of the following categories. Today, we've got missing and one from the headlines. All right, Jo, you've not heard these yet.
I have not.
We will end with a piece of random information that we feel shouldn't feel so random anymore. Also, we'll share recommendations for any podcasts that we're loving or any true crime books that we are reading. This community is amazing, and we believe in community over competition. True crime's goal should always be to stop crime. So the more ears on cases, the better. So make sure you share with us also your favorite podcasts and episodes so we can share those on our social media as well. There is room for all of us at the table.
Yep.
And don't worry, your regularly scheduled episodes will continue. Are you ready? Rumble. Okay. Missing person case highlight. So we have Sacoya Devin Cooper. Sacoya Devin Cooper, who goes by Sacoya, was last seen on August 31st, 2021 from Northland, Columbus, Ohio. Sacoya is a transgender African-American female and is about 5'5" and 145 pounds. She was born on August 9th, 1988, and she was reportedly last seen on August 31st, 2021, leaving her boyfriend's home to go to a corner store, allegedly to get water. Not much is known about this ongoing case, but we know there's a lot of frustration about what's not being done. Sacoya's car was found, and there are reports by the friends and family that they were not informed about this discovery until some time after. And according to the Federal Bureau of Investigation website, they do believe that there was foul play involved per the items that were discovered in the car. So those items, not disclosed. So we do not know.
Okay.
And our questions, have they traced her cell phone? Does she have Snapchat? We learned from the Matthew Weaver case, Snapchat can be active in the background. It's a very popular app. It can trace your locations. Even location services on your phone can trace, and cell phone records pinging off of towers. Where was the last known ping? Where was the last known location? Have they accessed social media? Were locations turned on there? And was her boyfriend cleared? Do they have any persons of interest? This information is from the Federal Bureau of Investigation's website. Reward. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $10,000 for information leading to the location of Devin Sacoya Cooper. Cooper was last seen wearing black lemonade braids, a black and white summer dress, and black and white baby fat sandals. Anyone with information related to the disappearance of Devin Sacoya Cooper is asked to call the Central Ohio Crime Stoppers tip line at 614-461-8477. You can also go to the FBI website link we provided on our website and submit an anonymous tip as well. And let me tell you now a story that has captivated me this month, Jo. So to hear this story, it's insane, and you have to listen to it. So it's a new podcast by Lionsgate Sound, and it is called Scamanda. So like Scandal and Amanda together, Scamanda. It's an incredible new podcast, and it's hosted by Charlie Webster, and she does an incredible job with this podcast. Amanda C. Riley was a cancer survivor from San Jose, California. Have you heard of this yet?
No.
who in 2012 became a very popular blogger with her website called Lymphoma Can Suck It, which detailed her journey extensively with cancer. She gained a large following of dedicated readers of her blog, and she made over $100,000 in donations for her cancer treatment over the span of 7 years.
I see where you're going with this.
But it was all a lie.
Yep. The Scandama.
Scandama?
What was her name?
Scamanda. Scandama. That actually sounds kind of cool. Dang it.
Scandama.
Dang it. The only thing true about this story is that she is a fraud. She was sentenced in May of 2022. It's a recent case, y'all. She was sentenced to 5 years in prison. She swindled money from churchgoers.
Did she have to pay all of that back?
I don't know. Churchgoers, friends, family, and strangers. Nobody was safe from Amanda's scams. It is a must listen. There are new episodes out.
That's fascinating.
I know. Each Monday, you would think this was so interesting. They have an actress on the podcast that does a great job reading from Amanda's own blog posts. And it has this news reporter that's relentless about hunting down this story. And you know what's so bizarre is they keep saying in each episode, now it's an ongoing, as of right now, it's still not all the episodes have been released. They have 4 right now. And a lot of the people say that as sick as Amanda claimed to be, she looked totally healthy and fine. The only thing that
people bought it.
Yeah. Her head was shaved.
We can do that.
She said her head was shaved.
Did they mention anything about Munchausen?
No.
Okay, but I'm curious.
That is really interesting. Not yet. Okay. So that one's there. I will link that one as well. I think it's also like the #1 ranked podcast right now out there. So it's pretty popular. Now, time for a weird fact. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
The individual that is currently charged with the murders of the Moscow, Idaho college students has a link to serial killer Dennis Rader, also known as BTK, which we covered in episode 7 in 4 parts. If you missed it, go back. All right, well, here's a connection. The defendant was a criminal justice PhD student who once studied under Professor Dr. Catherine Ramslin.
We mentioned her on our podcast, right?
In episode 4. Yep. A well-known expert on BTK. In fact, Dr. Catherine Ramslin even wrote a book titled Confessions of a Serial Killer, The Untold Story of Dennis Rader, the BTK Killer, where she worked with Dennis on analyzing his behaviors and motives.
And then she went on to be Brian's professor.
Yeah, he worked alongside
That's
her.
his name, right, Brian?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Is that crazy? I know. It makes you kind of go, wait.
Yeah.
I want to leave with a true crime tip of the day. Here we are, right before we sign off. Ladies and gentlemen, never feel stupid for speaking up if you're uncomfortable. It's always better to be safe than sorry. So do you think someone is following you in the grocery store? Immediately tell the management and demand. Don't ask permission. You're not in position because you're uncomfortable. Don't worry if they think you're
cray.
Yeah. Be crazy. Some people, the fear of being seen as meek or even just being embarrassed of saying anything keeps a lot of people from standing up for themselves. But that is why there are managers of stores there. When in doubt, they want to keep you secure and safe, whether or not you actually are in danger. If you have a sense of security, that's what you need. So demand an escort to your car. You're not dumb. You're not stupid. You're smart. You matter. And you have a gut and you should trust it. Have you ever been followed in a grocery store or any type of store?
Not as an adult. As a child, I was.
Really?
Yeah. Not in a store, but yeah. Should I go into this?
Yeah.
Should we go here?
Yeah. I'm already there.
We're here. When I was probably, I was, I don't know, maybe 10. My parents owned an apartment complex in South Omaha and North Omaha. South or North Omaha. A bad part of town. Anyway, my dad, it was not a good neighborhood. Like I said, my dad was inside collecting rent, and it was a summer. I was sitting on the front steps of the apartments, like right off the street, and an old car with two old men, probably like 80 years old. Well, that's what they looked to me when I was 10. I don't know how they were.
Were they like 40?
No, they were old.
Oh.
And they pulled up and they stopped in front of me and they said, hey, little girl, do you want to go get some ice cream?
Oh, heck
Yep.
no.
And I was so scared. My feet wouldn't even move. Like I kept thinking like, you have to get up and run inside. You have to get up and run inside. But my feet wouldn't even move. And I just said, no. And then like from there, it's kind of a blur. At some point I did get up and run inside, like out of breath and panicked, looking for my dad, and I was safe. But it was the creepiest thing that's maybe ever happened to me in my life.
Did your dad share in your fear?
You know, from what I remember, he was just like, oh, that's weird. Like, we went about our business. Like, no, really? Like, really?
Yeah,
It was really scary.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If my kid said that to me, it would not be like, oh, okay, cool.
That I recall, I've only been followed twice. I shared the story with you before, I think, of my mom, Nana, and I were
She's badass, by the way.
She is, and she's pretty short. She used to be a cop, and she took me to England, and I'm just like checking out all the guys. I was like 15 or something, 14. You know, there's so many, everyone had the Backstreet Boys bowl cut kind of hair. And I was just, you know, checking out everybody, and it was so fun. And my mom brings to my attention that we have been followed for a really long time. And I had no idea because I was looking at all the cuties, and we were at some kind of marketplace in London. And she says, you stay with me, stay right next to me. And that little girl, my mom, turns around and stares down the tallest, largest man I've ever seen, and she deadlock eyes with him, and you could just see him put the tail between and walk away. She says to me too, you have to be scarier than them. And so I took that knowledge, and when was this? Maybe 10 years ago, I was walking through a grocery store, and a man was following me. And I know this because I started to play a game where I'd run into the other aisle, and then I'd wait, and then here he'd come. And he didn't get in, there's nothing in his hands. He didn't have a cart. He didn't have anything. So I whipped around the next aisle, and above on the ceiling are those
mirrors.
Yeah, the mirrors. And I sat and I stared at him. And I watched him whip around the corner, and I was facing him, and I did what my little mom did, and I stared him down. Like, we're going to do this, bro? I'm not sure that's the best advice, but
we are not held responsible for any.
I wanted him to know I saw him, and this is what I was acknowledging. And then I did take my advice because I did get escorted to my car. I did let him know, but I remember letting them know because I worried about other girls. I should be worried about myself more often, but I did not want someone else to get followed anywhere. You know, when someone's pretending to look and shop, you know, they have nothing in their hands, nothing, you know, just be aware of your surroundings, I think. And when do you even have that conversation with kids? Like, what age?
I know. My biggest fear is it happening with my kids. I will die for my children.
I had that conversation with my son today, actually. Someone tells you to go help them look for a puppy. What do you say? I started to go through scenarios because I could see my kids say, yeah, let's get in your car. Let's go find a puppy. You know, or
don't fall for the ice cream.
No ice cream. We got a lollipop. Like
that would totally get them.
My husband was chased as well when he was a young kid on a bike. Him and his brother were on bikes. It was I'm going to have to verify the stories.
That happened to me in my neighborhood with my neighbor, Trisha. Shout out Trisha. We had this like neighborhood park that we would go to all the time. We had a fort and we buried food, which is so gross, but we would.
Were you okay?
Dig it back up, and eat it, which is weird.
Oh, but no, anyway, that's a camping thing.
We would bury like cereal, but not in like Ziploc bags, like just the bags.
That is absolutely not a camping thing. So did your parents feed you?
Anyway, yeah, they did. This was just our thing. So anyway, we were walking up to the park one day, and this man in an old beater car stopped and jumped out of his car and chased us down into the park. And there's this like forest area of the park. And we ran as fast as we could and ended up having to like cut through a yard that was on the back side. And he eventually stopped following us. But he chased us like on foot, full out sprint for some time. And my dad did believe me that we got in the car and we finally got home because we were like pretty far from home at that point because we were running. We told my dad we were out of breath, like about this guy, and he threw us in the car and we went around looking for him, but we never saw him.
Vigilante.
Yeah. My dad was going to go get him.
How did you not recall that this was traumatizing?
It was terrifying.
Jo, this seems
Trisha,
scarier.
call up. Do we have a line to Trisha call up?
This seems way more terrifying than do you want some ice cream?
I don't know. The ice cream thing, it was just scary. I thought these men
you
were going to
were
abduct
physically
me.
chased through
Like
a park.
sprinting.
Jody!
And then we had to like get home and like, so we were trying to go between houses and not be on the main street back to our, like it was terrifying.
That is insane.
I wish we could call her right now.
I was never... People didn't bother.
Is there a way to call her on that special board?
Yeah, we gotta Google it.
Darn it. Okay. Call you next week, Trisha.
Actually, we can do it through Zoom. That is wild. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of stories.
Yeah.
And you have to also think about the times where you were not aware.
Yeah.
Not trying to fuel everyone's anxieties, but please just be aware of your surroundings. Don't assume that nothing will happen to you.
Trust no one with your kids. That's my motto. Assume the worst, hope for the best.
Just trust a stranger to babysit.
Oh, yeah.
So she did.
Julie.
She did that to me.
It's just Julie.
All right, you guys. I will put the show notes on episode notes on our website, truecrimeandheadlines.com, where I will link Scamanda. I will share some articles from stuff that we shared today. And if you liked these little mini episode today, this little mini episode, all of this. If you like this one, let us know. And you can email us truecrimeandheadlinespodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to give us a review, please. A lot of times people like to leave reviews when they don't like you.
5 stars.
5 stars, please.
Or move on by. Keep moving.
We have so many stories coming up for you. And July 5th, again, we are going to return. So we will have a 2-week hiatus here. And we will see you back Wednesday, July 5th, wherever you get your podcast. Jo, do you want to tell them something real fast?
Happy 4th of July. We'll miss you. That's all I got.
I thought you were going to say some like uplifting life thing.
I got nothing.
I swear she almost leaned forward and said, I love lamp. Like you panicked. You improv like my husband
I
does.
do not improv.
Like, how much do you love? What do you love about me? You have eyelashes. What? So if I did it? you have 2 eyebrows. Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Your butt looks
Great.
great.
And Lee. Oh, see, my mama is a podcaster. My too.